Japan is once again at the center of a global nuclear debate. One of the most controversial nuclear power plants in the world is preparing for a restart, and it's reopening old wounds. This is the Kashiwazaki-Kariwa Nuclear Power Plant, the largest nuclear facility on Earth. Located in Japan's Niigata Prefecture on the country's western coast, about 220 kilometers northwest of Tokyo, this massive complex houses 7 nuclear reactors with a combined capacity of over 8,000 megawatts. No other nuclear plant in the world comes close to that scale. But this isn't just about power generation, it's about trust. Because this plant is operated by TEPCO, Tokyo Electric Power Company. Yes, the same company that ran the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. And that's where the controversy begins. To understand why this restart has triggered fierce resistance, we need to go back to March 2011. Japan was struck by a devastating earthquake, followed by a massive tsunami. The waves slammed into the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, knocking out its cooling systems. Several reactors melted down. Radioactive material leaked into the environment. It became one of the worst nuclear disasters in modern history. The impact was immediate and devastating. More than 16,000 people were forced to flee their homes. Entire towns were abandoned. Vast areas were declared unsafe. Even today, many families still cannot return home. That disaster shattered public confidence in nuclear power. Japan responded by hitting the brakes hard. The government created a new independent nuclear regulator, imposed some of the strictest safety standards in the world, and shut down all nuclear power plants, including Kashiwazaki-Kariwa. At the time, nuclear energy supplied nearly 30% of Japan's electricity. When the reactors went offline, that power vanished overnight. Japan turned to fossil fuels, importing massive amounts of coal and natural gas. The cost, enormous. Last year alone, Japan spent around $68 billion on energy imports. That dependence raised serious concerns about energy security, affordability, and emissions. At the same time, electricity demand has been climbing, driven by data centers, AI infrastructure, and digital expansion. Slowly and cautiously, nuclear power crept back into the conversation. Over the past decade, Japan has restarted 14 nuclear reactors, but none of them were operated by TEPCO until now. In recent weeks, a major hurdle was cleared. Local authorities in Niigata have approved the restart plan for Kashiwazaki-Kariwa. TEPCO is now seeking final approval from Japan's nuclear regulator. If that approval comes through, one reactor could restart as early as January. But this story isn't just about energy policy. It's about fear, memory, and broken trust. A new public survey shows that most local residents remain unconvinced. Many say safety conditions have not been fully met. Others say they simply do not trust TEPCO, especially after a series of recent safety lapses and data handling scandals. There's also a deeply personal dimension. Some former Fukushima residents now live in Niigata. For them, the disaster is not history. It's ongoing. Cleanup at Fukushima is expected to take decades. TEPCO insists it has learned from the past. The company points to new seawalls, watertight doors, mobile backup generators, and regular emergency drills. It says restarting the plant is not the finish line, but the beginning of a long, carefully monitored process. Still, the question haunting Japan isn't just whether the reactors are safe, it's whether public trust can ever be rebuilt. Japan now stands at a crossroads, torn between its urgent energy needs and the nuclear scars that never fully healed. This isn't just a power story. It's a story about accountability, about memory, and about whether a country that once said never again is ready to try once more. Want the facts, the latest developments, news that gets straight to the point. This post is brand new. Don't miss it.